Dear students, this is the first step of preparing the problem that I had just an hour ago. So in that problem, we are given with the opening balance sheet and certain transactions and adjustments required, and we are asked to prepare income and receipts and payments account, income and expenditure account, and balance sheet. So we first start with the preparation of receipts and payments account. For that, we have to make a T-shape account. The left hand side is receipts, amount rupees, payments, amount rupees. Then we write the opening cash balance. Opening cash balance is taken from the balance sheet given to us, that is 35,000, and the subscriptions are received, that is the first item of receipts, that is 40,000. Then to interest on investments, that is the first receipt, that is 3,000. Then we write the first payments, the first item of payment, that is printing and stationery, that amounts to 1,000. Then petty expenses, that is 500. Then outstanding creditors, that is opening balance of outstanding creditors paid during the year. Since nothing is stated about the opening balance of our outstanding creditors, it is assumed that the amount so given has been paid, that outstanding creditors, that is opening balance 5,000, has been credited or shown on the payment side. Then general expenses 3,000. This is the musical instruments purchase, that is the asset purchased, that is written as 6,000. Then entertainment expenses 15,000. Then annual day dinner, that is 10,000. Then salaries paid during the year, that is actual amount of salary paid during the year is 2,500. Then rent is 500. And since we are not given with the closing balance, the main aim of preparing receipts and payments account is to find out the closing balance of the receipts and payments account. Only when we get the closing balance of receipts and payments account, that is cash balance, only when we get the closing balance of receipts and payments account, we can write the balance sheet. Therefore, the main purpose of preparing a receipts and payments account is to find out the closing balance. Since receipts and payments account is not given as a question, we prepared a receipts and payments account, and we found out the balance, that is closing balance of receipts and payments account, that is closing cash balance, that is 34,500. This 34,500, that is the closing balance of receipts and payments account as on 31st December 2013 is to be shown on the asset side of balance sheet, that is going to be prepared for 31st December 2030. So now we are going to prepare income and expenditure of Kerala Music Council. So here we state all expenses and all incomes, not all expenses and all incomes, all the expenditures of the current year and all income of the current year, because we exclude previous years and coming years. We only write actual expenditure of the current year and actual income of the current year. So first of all, we can look into the expenditure side. First is printing and stationery, that is 1 lakh, 1000, that is given in the question. Next is petty expenses. Next is general expenses. Next is entertainment expenses, that is 15,000. Then annual day dinner, that is 10,000. Then salaries paid during the year, that is 2,500. And the outstanding figure of salary, that is outstanding figure of salary that is given in the adjustments as the last item is 500. Then rent, actual rent is 500. Then we add the rent outstanding, and we show the depreciation of furniture. Depreciation of furniture means furniture is 8,000, that is 5% of 8,000. Then musical instruments is, the percentage of depreciation is 10%. The musical instruments, total amount of musical instruments on the opening date is 45,000. Of the 45,000, the 10% is 4,500. Then building, the building is 50,000, and the rate of depreciation is 2%. So 400 for furniture, musical instruments it is 4,500, building is 1,000. The total depreciation is 5,900. Then we write subscriptions received during the year. This 40,000 is taken from receipt side of receipts and payments account. Then we add the adjustment figure, that is closing date outstanding figure of subscription, that is 6,000. Then we deduct the subscription received during the year of the previous year, that is of the 2012. Then we deduct the resultant figure will be 44,000. Then interest on investments received, then 3,000. Here musical instruments purchased is there, but we are not calculating in depreciation on the purchased figure, because we are not given with the date of purchase. Therefore we calculate depreciation on the opening balance of musical instruments. Then we total it. Here the income side is higher than the expenditure side, that is credit side is higher than debit side. So 47,000 is the total figure of income side, that is credit side. Then we balance it. Balancing figure is 7,600. That 7,600 is the surplus amount. That surplus amount is transferred to capital fund to be shown on the liability side by adding the surplus figure to a capital fund on the liability side of the balance sheet. So the amount of surplus is transferred to balance sheet to be added to capital fund and be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. This is the income and expenditure account. Next we are going to write is the balance sheet of this Kerala Musical Council. So this is the last step or the last statement, that is financial statement or balance sheet for this Kerala Music Council. So we draw balance sheet. On the left hand side it is liabilities amount rupees, assets amount rupees, and the first item on liability side is outstanding creditors. Amount due but not paid is outstanding creditors. That is rent outstanding, that is given in adjustments. that is 500. Salaries outstanding even in the adjustments, that is 500, the total being 1000. And then we get this capital fund is the amount taken from the opening balance sheet given in the question, that amounts to 1,95,000, and we add the surplus that is calculated, that is the balancing figure of income and expenditure account. So outstanding creditors, that is in the adjustments, as the last three items are rent, salaries and subscription. Of these we took the rent and salaries, which is outstanding creditors, that is 500 each, total being 1000. Then the capital fund is taken from the opening balance sheet, that is 1,95,000. Then we add the surplus, that is the balancing figure of income and expenditure account. That figure has been added, that is 7,600 has been added, and the total being 2,02,600. Then the cash in hand from the opening balance sheet, subscription accrued but not received, that the closing subscription accrued balance, that is from the adjustments. Then musical instruments, and the depreciation is on the first paragraph of the question, that is 10%, that is opening from the opening capital balance. The value of musical instruments is 45,000. Then we deduct depreciation, that percentage of depreciation is from the first paragraph, that is 4,500, and the musical instruments purchased during the year, that is 6,000, and that figure has been added, and the resultant figure is 46,500. And then furniture, that is 8,000, and we deducted the depreciation, that is 5% from the first paragraph. The balancing figure is 7,600. Then building, that is 50,000, depreciation being 2%, that is 1,000, and we deducted that depreciation figure, and the resultant figure is 49,000. Then investments, that is 60,000. So these are the statements. This is the closing balance of receipts and payments account. This is from the adjustments. This is from the opening balance sheet. Depreciation is deducted, and we added the purchases, that is the adjustments given. That is from the receipts and payments account. We got the purchase of musical instruments. Then furniture, that is from the opening balance sheet. Then we deducted the depreciation. Then building from the opening balance sheet, and we deducted the depreciation figure. And investments, that is also from this opening balance sheet. Then outstanding creditors are also from opening capital balance. Outstanding creditors, that is from the adjustments. Rent is 500, salary 500. Then capital fund, that is the balancing figure of receipts and payments account. Very sorry. Capital fund is the amount we took it from the opening balance sheet. Then we add the surplus figure, that is 7,500. The total amount of capital fund is 2,02,600. Then we total it, the two sides, that is liability side as well as asset side, the total being 2,03,600 on both sides. So here we are given with depreciation, and then opening capital balances, opening balance sheet, and receipts items and payments items and adjustments. But we are not given with the receipts and payments account. So we prepare receipts and payments account in order to find out closing balance. This is the balancing figure. This is the balancing figure from receipts and payments account. Then subscription accrued, that is from the adjustments. Then musical instruments opening balance, less depreciation, add new purchase, build furniture, less depreciation, building, less depreciation, then is investments. This is how the balance sheet of Kerala Music Council is prepared. If you have any doubts, don't hesitate to mail at ukk.moothedathu@gmail.com. Thank you.